Joining us on the preview show of the 2022 Korea Cup and Sprint, my name is Joe, the presenter and the race caller from Korea Racing Authority. With the COVID hiatus, the event in 2020 and 21 had been cancelled, which now we are hosting this race for the very first time to have it as the International Group 3 race. This is a nice little coincidence along the fact that we are celebrating the 100 years of Korean racing history. Racing is much more fun if you're discussing this with your friends. That is certainly the case for me as well. So today I've invited my friends across the world, Laura King from the UK and Shireen Wu from Hong Kong and Koizumi Emi from Japan. I've got Laura from UK and Shireen from Hong Kong, Emi Koizumi from Japan. And can we have a little self-introduction first, starting with Laura. Hi, Laura.
Hi. Thanks for having me along. It's great to be here and talk about the Korea Cup. I'm so happy it's back after a 2-year absence, and I'll hopefully be able to give you a little bit more information about the two British contenders.
Hello, 안녕하세요. 저는 Shireen Wu 있다고 해요. 잘 부탁드립니다. I'm Shireen Wu from Hong Kong, working as a horse racing journalist and commentator, mainly focusing on overseas racings.
안녕하세요. 저는 일본 아나운서 코이즈미 에미입니다. 반갑습니다. I'm really happy to join this show, and congratulations for holding Korea Cup for the first time in 3 years. I'm working to cover overseas horse racing, so I want to go to Litson Park Seoul next year for sure.
It is my pleasure to be able to talk about Korea Cup and Sprint with you all, the experts from the different countries. So let us begin talking about the races and racehorses. Laura, you've been here for Korea Cup Day several years ago. I'd like to hear a little bit about your experience.
Oh, I had a brilliant time. I absolutely loved it. I think I've been over 3 times. The atmosphere was fantastic. The racing is very strong. And what I think that the Korea Racing Authority have done an amazing job at is getting the horses in from overseas, because it's not easy when you say to people we're racing on a dirt track. It's unfamiliar to the whole of Europe. We don't have anything like that over here. They still managed to get Europeans. They managed to get Americans. They managed to get Dubai horses, Japan, Hong Kong. It's been fabulous. So I'm so happy it's back and that you can build on the great work you've done so far.
Tell us a little bit about the UK horses. This year we have 2 horses joining here. Intellogent is 7-year-old, looks to be a little bit more of an experienced type, whereas Annaf seems to be 3-year-old, fresh up-and-comer. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, they're 2 really interesting horses. I think the main thing to note about Intellogent is that he's trained by Jane Chappell-Hyam, who's having an amazing year. She's had a Group 1 win with Saffron Beach. She had 2 successes at Royal Ascot, and this horse actually went very close. He nearly won the Royal Hunt Cup. He's a talented horse. When he was trained in France, he was a Group 1 winner. He doesn't win all that often, but he is still very capable, as he showed in that race at Ascot. And also when he was 3rd in the prestigious John Smith's Cup at York, that was a really good effort. He was actually a little bit unlucky there as well.
Right.
So he's got probably the ability to do well in this. But my concern for him is obviously the dirt track. He's never encountered anything like that. The all-weather surfaces are just not comparable at all. So that's a worry. He's not bred for it either. So that would be enough to put me off him. But we have to respect Jane. She, of course, has been 3rd in the Korea Cup before with Ambassadorial, a horse who was very much bred for the dirt. But Intellogent is a bit different. But she's maybe seen something in him that she thinks he will handle it. So we respect the horse because of connections. And I'm so happy that they're having a go. But it's going to be tough for him, for sure.
I have a feeling Jane's got some thoughts in this, and perhaps that is why I give a little bit more credit to Intellogent. And Annaf, could you speak a little bit about Annaf?
Yeah, Annaf is really interesting. He's trained by Mick Appleby, who's very much an up-and-coming trainer here. A very, very good, shrewd handler, particularly with horses he gets from other people. This horse is actually a Shadwell cast-off. He's by Mahara, who's champion sprinter here a few years ago, but actually has had progeny who've won on the dirt in Dubai. And this guy's out of a Stormcat mare. So there's quite a lot to suggest that he will handle the dirt. He's a winner twice on the all-weather. As I said, not a comparable service at all, but that gives us a good level of his ability, because 2 starts ago, he was second in the Group 3 Chip Chase Stakes behind a very, very smart sprinter. So he's got plenty of natural ability. He's an up-and-comer. As I mentioned, he's only had the 9 starts so far. And I think there's reason to believe that he could run a big race here. Say, very, very shrewd connections, a horse who's got untapped potential at the moment, and there's just that little chance on pedigree that he could adapt well to your dirt over there.
Right. I mean, I've just seen it. Stormcat mare. This is very interesting in terms of the pedigree. It makes it very much fun. Thank you so much for answering and telling us about the UK horses. Now we will go on to the Hong Kong representation. In your opinion, Shireen, how much interest do they have about Korean racing in Hong Kong?
Sure. Yes, this year Hong Kong will send 2 horses to Seoul, including King's Shield and Computer Patch. So let me talk about King's Shield first, because in Hong Kong there are no all-weather black type races. So the top-rated all-weather horses like King's Shield need to go overseas. So Korea Cup is very important to him, and if he performs well and gets a decent international rating, he may later go to other countries like Japan, Dubai, or America for another group races. So it is definitely a very important race for King's Shield. And for in the sprint for Computer Patch, there are a lot of top sprinters in Hong Kong, and the races are very, very competitive here. So Computer Patch is a bit similar to Super Jockey, who won the Korean Sprint in 2016. Both these 2 sprinters are quite classy, but difficult, not easy to win in Hong Kong. So trying to compete overseas is a good option for Computer Patch.
But to me, Hong Kong horses have always been the best at the sprint distances. What are your thoughts about the Hong Kong horses?
Yes, right. Joe mentioned it correctly, because in Hong Kong, the sprint races are very competitive. So maybe for Computer Patch, he is he needs to go overseas. And for the trainer, Jimmy Ting, it is his first time for Jimmy to send a horse overseas. But he is also familiar with this event because Jimmy was the assistant trainer to Danny Shum in 2013 to 2018. So in 2017, when Danny sent Lucky Year and Circuit Land to Seoul, he helped a lot during the trip, and he was at Seoul for the preparation work. And also, I know that Joe and you also prepare some replays for some video for Computer Patch. He finished second behind Wellington in last season's Group 1 Chairman Sprint Prize. He used to be a leader, but he still performs well if he stay in the second or the third place, just like what he did in the Chairman Sprint Prize. So the winner, Wellington, is so far the best sprinter in Hong Kong at this moment. He was just crowned as the champion sprinter last season. So just 1.5 lengths behind Wellington, it is definitely a decent result for Computer Patch. And also now, Computer Patch recently is having some track work in the morning in the reverse direction, because, in Hong Kong, both Sha Tin and Happy Valley are in clockwise. So Computer Patch is now galloping over the anti-clockwise, which will be helpful for him in order to get ready for the Seoul track.
Okay, there are horses that are gonna have to race the other way around. I believe that is the case for the Japan horse as well. So it's gonna be very interesting, I guess. Raptus.
Yes.
Raptus, I just have a feeling that his best distance is at 1,400 meters, going shorter in the distance, and Korea Sprint, it's very quick. Do you think it'll suit?
Yeah, certainly all 4 races which he won the Group 3 were 1,400 meter. Moreover, Nagoya, Saga, Kochi, all race courses have right-handed courses. 1,400 meter right-handed is his best turn. He ran best races in Japan, but Raptus was well controlled by jockey Miyuki Hideaki, who experienced the Korea Cup 2016 with Kurino Stao, who finished second. So, and this time he had 56 kilogram. Unlike the recent races, he had heavyweight. Moreover, this horse has a lot of speed. That's a good sign, I think. And
yes, definitely a good sign.
Yeah. And the trainer Matsunaga Masahiro said it suits his racing style.
Horses from Japan have won the 2016 here Korea Cup, and also in the year 17 and 18, both won by London Town. It was Take Yutaka in the saddle for the graceful leap. There is a history for Japanese racehorses and connections winning here at Korea Cup. Do you think Japanese are hopeful? How are the Japanese fans?
Same in any country. We all want our country to win.
Sekifu has got to be the winning contender of the Korea Cup. Do you think he'll win?
I hope he can win. I covered the story for Saudi Cup Day and Dubai World Cup Day this year. Sekifu, second in the Saudi Derby, eighth in the UAE Derby. He's only 3 years old colt, but he kept good condition and he had shapen up for the race galloping at abroad. His strong point is experience of transporting long distance, and he can relax at the abroad. First up since UAE Derby, he ran Unicorn Stakes, and in that race he was a good second on 9 June. He loses just by a neck. He is
very close.
Full of potential.
And also I want to consider Celavi, who now we don't have representation here, is a Singapore horse. Celavi, her recent win was at April 17th, and that winning was really well. And she brings up the probability of 8 wins out of the 18 races, so she's got to be considered. I will be now asking you to give us a little bit of your tips and expert analysis on Korea Sprint. I did send you the list of the previous performances of the runners, and I will be starting with Laura.
Black Olive could be a bit of a star, 4 from 4, but at Busan. So we don't know
Black
quite.
Olive.
Yeah, Dalton Jilju at Rayon first as well. Very good record at Seoul. I still think the Japanese are going to be very, very strong in this race.
EastJet will be my value bet. Rome First is an interesting mare having quite consistent form at Seoul.
Raptus is very good. Black Musk, he moved on the far outside and defeated Laondi Fighter and Morphis.
You must have seen Dolkong in presence in Dubai.
Yes, I did.
Yes, that'll be a little souvenir there. And have you seen Sekifu? No?
Yeah, I loved him. He was a really nice horse, very controlled, very relaxed in the mornings in the Dubai race, a race that actually hasn't worked out all that well. We've seen a few times that I think he's a better horse than he showed in Dubai, and I think we might see that in Korea.
Yeah, in the Korea Cup, I will be cheering for the Hong Kong representative, King's Shield, Born the Fighter. Thank you. Yeah. And I expect him to be another leader in the field because he is very honest. Hanbok Wanja, the course and distance specialist.
Christian De Muro, jockey, said he will go at least 1,800 meters, no problem.
Thank you so much for joining here, and this will be it. Please follow us on KRBC for the racing. Thank you so much.
We will.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The race we've all been waiting for, the prize money of 10 billion Korean won, the Korea Cup and Sprint. Be part of our show, be our guest. This will be happening on the 4th of September here at Seoul Racecourse.